أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على خير خلقه محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. قال الله تبارك وتعالى في محكم كتابه المجيد: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ولقد نصركم الله ببدر وأنتم أذلة فاتقوا الله لعلكم تفلحون. On the 17th of the month of Ramadan, year 2 after Hijrah, the Battle of Badr gained a victory for Muslims which was very, very great in the beginning of settling in Medina. Of course, the disbelievers did everything to uproot Islam, to fight and to get rid of Muslims that ridiculed all their whatever beliefs, the idol worshipping, the manner they used to live, and the way they dealt with other people. Now, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in 123 and 124 ayat from Surah Al-Imran explains that He supported the Muslims, aided them with 3,000 angels who came down to support and boost the Muslims. Why? Because Muslims were weak, poor in number, in mounts, and in armor, whilst the disbelievers were fully equipped and they had every facility or every possibility for winning the battle. But the spirit of devotion, the spirit of submission and surrender to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and to the commanders, to the commands of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, all these worked together with 3,000 angels who were supporting them to end up with the victory of Islam in the Battle of Badr. Badr was about 20 miles southwest of Medina, and there we see the two heroes were and had very important and significant role for winning the battle. These two were none but Ali alayhi salam and Al-Hamza, the Prophet's uncle. So these two together worked very, very hard, and of course the result was with the victory that they registered in the beginning of their migration to Medina. Of course, we know later on in Uhud there was a defeat, but now we are talking about this really crucial time and important movement in Badr. Can you say that 3,000 angels were seen, or they really physically engaged in the battlefield? This is the eye of the Quran, and it is clear, nothing ambiguous about that to need interpretation or anything like that. However, when we today, which is 18th of the holy month of Ramadan, remember that great victory, let us move to another occasion, another event which took place during the night of 19th, and that is when Abdurrahman ibn Muljam managed to strike the head of Imam Ali alayhi salam with a sword which was poisoned, and this led 2 days later in the martyrdom of Imam Ali alayhi salam inside the mosque of Kufa, Masjid al-Kufa. So here the commander of faithful, Ali son of Abu Talib, born inside the Kaaba, and now he is getting martyred inside the house of God, the house of Allah, and that is Masjid al-Kufa. When we understand this, that grief and the sudden death to Imam alayhi salam, which was a tragedy indeed, but we are reported, we are informed that even the call in the heavens was heard by all people of Kufa. تهدمت والله أركان الهدى وانفصمت العروة الوثقى. All the foundations of guidance, all the foundations of truth and faith, they were demolished by this tragedy, by this crime of Abdurrahman ibn Muljam, who killed the Imam alayhi salam inside his mihrab during the Salat al-Fajr. By this incident, we make a comparison between the victory took place on the second year of Hijrah and the tragedy of the martyrdom of Imam Ali alayhi salam on the 40th year of Hijrah. And between these, between year 2 and between 40, some 38 years, Muslims witnessed Imam Ali alayhi salam as the main defender of faith, the one who sacrificed everything. He sacrificed his own life in order to assure the continuity of Islam, and in all cases, whether he was in Medina or later on moved to Kufa, was the exemplar of sticking to principles of religion, to justice, not being biased even to his own brother Aqil, who was really poor and needy. He even didn't have anything to feed his children. So he asked the Imam some portion extra and more than what other Muslims deserved and got. But the Imam did not give him any preference at all. This is the justice, the exemplar of the highest level of sincerity and fairness and justice in Imam Ali alayhi salam. By that, we remember that when the Imam gave his last will to his sons Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and it was clear that these are the few days remained from his life, the Imam managed to give the best of advice to his two sons, telling them that you have to support the orphans all the time. You have to look after the neighbors. You have to stick to the truth. You have to deal with everything about what makes people happy and to secure the normal life for them. By this, of course, when see that the followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam on the 19th of the eve of 19th of Ramadan, they not only commemorate the martyrdom of Imam Ali alayhi salam, they consider that the first night of Qadr. The nights of Qadr, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described one of them to be better than 1,000 months. But whether it is 19th, 21st or 23rd, we have different narrations from our Imams about it. Indeed, somebody came to Imam Sadiq alayhi salam and said to him, "O Imam, I am living far away from Medina, and it is difficult for me to come 2 nights or 3 nights to Medina in order to commemorate the martyrdom of the Imam." Okay, but in order to get the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala during these nights of Qadr, which one? Will you please specify one of them for me to be able to attend if I can't do the other nights? And do you know what was the response of the Imam? The Imam said that for the aim and the goal we expect on the night of Qadr, is it too much that you work for more than 1 night in order to make time to communicate with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by recitation of the Quran, by the du'as, supplications like Dua Jawshan Kabir? When 1,000 names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are called upon in approximately an hour or an hour and 10 minutes, with all intention to beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for his pardon, for the blessings, and for enabling us for the coming year to achieve the best of goals, to be in a way that full of happiness, full of success, and achieving the goals that we wish. So these are few things that come together in few days or nights. Let us remember too, brothers and sisters, that the Prophet ﷺ, for the last 10 nights of the holy month of Ramadan, would not go to bed at all. He would remain awake, because these are very precious times by which one can achieve the best of results in sincerity, in devotion to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that is really a good opportunity for all of us. When we do these a'mal, the recitation of the Quran, the ziyarat of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, and all other good deeds here. Let's conclude that although in every night of the holy month of Ramadan, every day of the holy month of Ramadan, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us that the gates of paradise, the gates of heavens are open. Angels are waiting for us to record the best of deeds for us. Charity, sharing good moments with believers, recitation of the Quran, learning more about our faith and our principles. All these are really highly recommended for us to do during these days and these nights. Let's ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the tawfiq that we seize the opportunity and do the best of it. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.